What is that place?
Where the counselors were meant to watch the consecration of the icon. The start of the great journey.
There is still time to stop the key from turning.
I must get inside.
Then mount up, Arbiter. I know a way to break those doors.
What's up, guys? Bird here, bringing you the Noob's Guide to Legendary for the 13th and final mission of the Halo 2 campaign, The Great Journey. Now on Legendary, I'm not sure if it applies to Heroic. It's been a long time since I've played this mission on Heroic. But at least on Legendary, you cannot get the Spec Ops Commander to jump out of his tank. He will not give it up. So you need to take control of the Spectre, just get the elite that's driving it out of there, then have him hop in the turret, and then stay back and let the Spec Ops Commander take point. For the most part, you can let him do most of the work, just mop up any ghosts that get by him, you know, again, aim for that big fuel tank on the side. Just whatever you do, try not to get in front of him. Just stay behind him so that you don't risk being killed by his mortar. And then, of course, like every other vehicle section in the game that I've covered, do not let the ghosts get behind you. They will kill you very, very quickly.
They're withdrawing! They're breaking! Stand firm! Break the charge! Prepare yourself! Got it! Get yourself! Danger is nigh! Aha!
Another thing to note is that when you get brutes out of their ghosts like this, if they start heading towards your Spec Op Commander's tank, you need to kill them, because if they hijack the tank, your Spec Ops Commander, I mean, he's invincible, so he won't die, but he'll just kind of spin in circles trying to throw them off, and he'll be unable to do so, and basically he'll become totally useless until you shoot off the brute that's hijacking the tank. When you move up far enough, you'll encounter your first enemy wraith of the mission. Let the Spec Ops Commander deal with it since he's invincible. Just stay out of its range and then keep moving. Now, it is an option to hijack that wraith instead of killing it, and in fact, that'll give you a lot more firepower than the Spectre, but I just prefer doing it in the Spectre. I just find it a lot more enjoyable, even if it is a little more difficult. Once you take out the wraith, there's nothing left but ghosts for this section, so just keep cleaning them up with the Spectre like you have been.
There, Arbiter. That Scarab's main gun will break the control room's doors.
Once all the ghosts are down, a phantom's going to move into position over the cliff on the left here. It shouldn't pose you too many problems as long as you keep moving and stay behind the rocks like this, but it can kill you if you get careless. If you really want, you can attack it head on and your gunner will shoot off its turrets.
At the far end of the beach, there's a passage into the cliffs. It should take you up to the Scarab.
Well, you heard the man. There's a doorway at the end of this beach and you need to be through it. Now, guarding that doorway are going to be 3 wraiths and a bunch of brutes with brute shots. This is where it would be advantageous to be in a wraith. Taking these wraiths out is a little easier in the wraith, but it's still doable in the Spectre, as I'm going to show here. However you do this, you need to stay back and do not enter that rocky area until all the tanks and the brutes are dead. That will get you killed instantly if you go in there. And a lot of times, that's how you're going to end up taking out the wraiths, by just waiting for the Spec Ops commander to use his tank against them. So that's 1 down and 2 to go. See, like this, I'm very hesitant to go in there because not all the wraiths and brutes are dead, but I decide to quick get in and then get the hell out. Well, that was a nice mortar from the Spec Ops commander. I think he just took out 3 brutes with 1 shot. And there goes the last tank.
The brutes control that cruiser, Arbiter. I'll remain here. Make sure no reinforcements get in behind you. Then, I'm going to take the cruiser back.
Now, once all 3 wraiths are down, the Spec Ops commander's going to say that. When he says that, there may be some brutes left, so look for them and kill them. And then once you're ready to hop out of the Spectre, grab yourself a brute shot and as much ammo as you can find. A lot of these guys had brute shots, so you should be able to find enough ammo for a full brute shot. And then, of course, swap out the plasma pistol for the brute shot, because the plasma pistol is completely useless against brutes.
The Arbiter? I thought he was dead. Hold your fire. The hunters have come to our aid, Arbiter. They will fight by our side.
Go ahead and grab yourself a carbine to replace your plasma rifle, which isn't terribly useful against brutes anyway, and then try your best to get in front of the hunters here so that you can get into the room and activate your active camo before the brutes lay waste to those hunters. As for the actual combat, you want to first stick the turret and then empty your brute shot into the brutes up top. They're going to have brute shots, so you want to try to take out as many of them without receiving any return fire as you can. Then head up the ramp and clean up the brutes that are coming through the door, like so. Once the fight's over, grab as much ammo for the brute shot as you can find.
I'll get you. It's not here.
This part isn't too hard as long as you don't try to fight the enemies from long distance across the cavern. It's much easier to take a more direct approach with the brute shot and follow this path around here. Again, stick the turret, then there's going to be 2 or 3 more brutes further on. Mop them up with the brute shot and carbine headshots. Once they're down, you need to keep moving because there's going to be more brute reinforcements across the chasm, and now jackal snipers enter the field. So the way that I do this is try to stick the brute there and then use my active camo if I've got it, and take out the jackal sniper there, then hide by this wall, listen, and look for the other jackal sniper, and take him out first thing before focusing on the other brutes. Ricochet shots like this can sometimes work if you know where they are, or have some idea of where they are. Or you can just let the hunters do their thing. They'll mop them up quite nicely if they're still alive. Once again, gather up as much ammo for the brute shot and carbine as you need. You don't need to pick up a beam rifle here because there's a beam rifle crate in the next area. You can just use that. Use your active camo immediately to avoid the jackal sniper, grab a beam rifle, and snipe him. How you proceed to take out the rest of these 6 or 7 jackals is totally up to you. The brute shot is effective, but so is the carbine, and so are grenades if you've got them. It just depends on what you've got. My only advice would be to use the carbine if their heads are exposed, and if they're not, use the brute shot. If you use the brute shot, fire in volleys of 2 because it takes 2 direct hits from a brute shot to take out a jackal. Once you've dealt with all the jackals, you need to deal with the drones at the end of the bridge. Now, obviously, you're not going to jump in there and take them all out close quarters. You need to snipe them or use the brute shot if there's any ammo left for it. Once you cross an invisible line here, a phantom is going to move into position on the left there, so that means you need to stay on the right side of those vertical supports so that you don't take fire from the phantom. If you do need to move out of cover such that you think you might take some fire from the phantom, just activate your active camo first as a safety precaution. And of course, if you hear the phantom firing, that means you're in trouble. You need to either move back into cover or use your active camo, or both. Once you reach the end of the bridge, the phantom's going to fly off. Keep your carbine and grab 2 needlers from this dispenser here. Now this room would be devastatingly difficult to play out normally, but there's a little trick that you can use. Alright, so first things first, there's going to be a needler dispenser here and a carbine dispenser here. And if you peek around this corner, you're going to see prison cells. What are behind those prison cells? Well, what are enemies with the brutes right now? Elites and hunters. So, if you destroy the power generators that are keeping those prison cells up, you'll release said prisoners. So, I like to start with the elites, let them lay waste to the brutes, and then let the hunters out. Now, if you don't do anything, they'll still kill a bunch of the brutes, but they'll eventually be killed. If you help out with the carbine or dual needlers, you should be able to keep most of them alive. There we are. All those brutes that would have had brute shots are now dead. And we've got 2 hunters and 1 elite counselor with us.
Until I do this in one cut. 2 cuts at least. Done. Wait! Movement!
Go!
Use your active camo in the dual needlers and lay waste to these 4 brutes. The most dangerous one is going to have the brute shot, but you should be able to take him out pretty easily if you send a volley of needles his way. If you've got the hunters and the elites with you, they'll take him out as well.
Listen, you don't like me and I sure as hell don't like you. But if we don't do something, Mr. Mohawk's gonna activate this ring. And we're all gonna die.
Tartarus has locked himself inside the control room.
Well, I just happen to have a key. Come on, grab a banshee and give me some cover. He's gonna know we're coming.
Here comes one of the most difficult and annoying sections of this mission. Grab yourself a banshee, but before you take off, grab a beam rifle out of this crate over here. Alright, beam rifle acquired. The first thing you want to do over here is kill these 3 wraiths. Shouldn't be too difficult to do since the wraiths pretty much can't hit you when you're in a banshee. Just blast the hell out of them with the plasma cannons and the banshee bomb until they fall. When you kill the first one, Johnson's gonna say that. Unfortunately, Johnson is pretty useless on Legendary. He won't hit shit with the Scarab gun. There we are, that's all 3 wraiths down. Now, when you destroy all 3 wraiths, that's going to get Johnson moving. And if you wanted to, you could just fly to the control room and wait for him there, but I don't really skip anything. If you do choose to fight this, land here, activate your active camo, then use the beam rifle to snipe these 2 turrets. Once they're down, look for the Spectre and snipe the Brute off of the turret. Because it's constantly moving, I like to just use the beam rifle to put 1 shot into his head to get his helmet off, and then switch to the carbine. Once the Spectre is no longer a threat, hop back in your Banshee. Once you're back in your Banshee, peek around this corner and destroy these 2 turrets here. Be very, very careful of the other Banshees. The Banshees do not need to get behind you to kill you quickly. They can kill you quickly from the front, from the side, from the back, and from above. So at this point, if any of the Banshees have noticed you, you're probably dead. So if they haven't noticed you, they'll probably be attacking Johnson in his Scarab, so fly over there and then start attacking them. The easiest way to kill them is to get behind them, but a lot of times Banshees come in pairs, and this is not possible. You also need to note where they spawn from, which is right over there. You'll be able to see them when they boost over the top of the cliffs and down into the canyon, and then try to shoot them before they become a threat. Whenever it's safe to do so, kill the 5th and final turret, and then turn your attention back to the Banshees. You may need to get evasive here. A lot of times the Banshees will go after Johnson, so that'll give you the opportunity to land here and get yourself a fresh Banshee. At this point, if Johnson has made it this far, you have made it. So just mop up the last of the Banshees here that should be focusing primarily on Johnson and not so much on you. And you can even mop up the wraiths while you're waiting. And then just wait for him to destroy those control room doors with his Scarab gun.
Stay clear of the door! Hey, bastards! Knock, knock!
Once Johnson destroys the control room doors, fly over and land your Banshee. Now, while it is possible to get the Banshee into the control room, I feel that it's a bit of an exploit that was never meant to be in the game, so I'm going to show it the way that Bungie probably meant for you to do it, which is on foot. I like to start things off with my active camo, and I try to spot the brute with the shotgun and snipe him. I was unable to do that this time.
Do not let the Arbiter into the chamber! The chieftain must complete his holy work!
As soon as they know where you are, you need to take cover down here. This is pretty much your only option for cover for this fight. The only major problem in this area is the brute with the shotgun. If he comes down here with his shotgun, you are screwed. So try to use your active camo and grenades to take him out quickly. Failing that, your next best option is to use the carbine and keep your distance. Now, you can see them through this glass floor above you, so you should always know where they are and then attack accordingly. Once you take out all but one brute, 3 more brutes are going to enter from the doors back there, including 2 brute honor guards, one with a brute shot and one with a carbine. Again, the easiest way to take them out is going to be stealth. And this is one of the reasons why I really hate Halo 2. Because usually when you fail an assassination like that, for I don't know why, you'll be killed instantly. This is one of the few times in the game where I got away with failing the assassination and I still survived. But whatever, just 1 brute left, take him out with the carbine. Once he's down, the area is going to be clear. Gather up as many plasma grenades as you can find, swap out your beam rifle for a brute plasma rifle, and collect full carbine ammo from the crate over here. And then head into the control room.
Come, human. It is easy. Take the icon in your hands. And do as you are told.
Please use caution. This reclaimer is delicate.
One more word, Oracle, and I'll rip your eye from its socket. Which is nothing compared to what I'll do to you.
Tartarus, stop.
Impossible.
Put down the icon.
Put it down and disobey the Hierarchs?
There are things about Halo even the Hierarchs do not understand.
Take care, Arbiter. What you say is heresy.
Is it? Oracle, what is Halo's purpose?
Collectively, the 7...
Not another word!
Please. don't shake the light bulb. If you want to keep your brain inside your head, I'd tell those boys to chill. Go ahead. Do your thing.
The sacred rings, what are they?
Weapons of last resort, built by the Forerunners to eliminate potential flood hosts, thereby rendering the parasite harmless.
And those who made the rings? What happened to the Forerunners?
After exhausting every other strategic option, my creators activated the rings. They and all additional sentient life in 3 radii of the galactic center died, as planned. Would you like to see the relevant data?
Tartarus, the prophets have betrayed us.
No, Arbiter. The great journey has begun. And the brutes, not the elite, shall be the Prophet's escort.
As soon as you've got control, stick the nearest brute with the plasma grenade and then mop up the rest with the carbine.
Check your target, Arbiter.
Okay, here we go. Third and last boss fight in the game. This is probably the most annoying one, although not the most difficult. Now, most of you should know what you have to do even if you can't pull it off. You have to wait for Johnson to deplete his shields with 3 shots from the beam rifle, and then pump as many rounds of brute plasma rifle ammo into him as you can before they recharge.
Charging sequence initiated. Primary generators coming online.
We'll shut them down.
Apology. Protocol does not allow me to interfere with any aspect of the sequence.
Then how do I stop it?
Well, it will take some time to go over the process.
Quit stall.
Under more controlled circumstances, I would suggest the Reclaimer simply remove the
Johnson, I'm on it.
Hang tight, ma'am. Not until that brute is dead.
Now, for the most part, I like to try to get Tartarus over here as close to Johnson as I can get him so that Johnson is much less likely to miss. And then I'll wait for the 3 shots, and then fill him full of brute plasma rifle ammo. Now, if that's all you had to do, this fight wouldn't be so bad. But once you hit him, look over there. Those are brute reinforcements, and they're the real problem with this fight. Now, I found that you can hit Tartarus twice at most before you have to ignore him and focus on the other brutes.
secondary generators charging. All systems are performing well within operational parameters.
And there really is no good way to take out these brutes. There's not a lot of cover. If you try to take them out from the top, they'll retreat under you where you can't hit them, and you don't have enough grenades to take them all out stealthily. The best thing you can do is keep your distance and use the carbine, but sometimes even that isn't possible because Tartarus will flush you out of cover if you don't keep moving. Now, the only thing here that is not an issue is ammo. There are ammo crates on the top, middle, and lower levels.
Power generation phase complete. The installation is ready to fire. Starting final countdown.
Come on, Arbiter! Kick that guy's ass!
And may I say, Reclaimers, it has been a pleasure to serve you both. Goodbye.
Now, if you can survive the waves of brute reinforcements without being killed, dealing with Tartarus is actually pretty easy. Just lead him over to Johnson where he can shoot him 3 times, and then pump him full of brute plasma rifle rounds. It's also a good strategy to look at that entrance ramp where the brutes would enter the area after every time you damage Tartarus, because that's what triggers them to enter the area, and then you're less likely to get caught off guard by a plasma grenade or such.
Hey, Mohawk! How'd that feel?
Once you kill Tartarus, the mission and the game will end.
What's that?
A beacon,
What's it doing?
communicating at superluminal speeds with the frequency of
Communicating with what?
the other installations.
Show me.
Fail-safe protocol. In the event of unexpected shutdown, the entire system will move to standby status. All remaining platforms are now ready for remote activation.
Remote activation? From here?
Don't be ridiculous.
Listen, Tinkerbell, don't make me...
Then where? Where would someone go to activate the other rings?
Why the Ark? Of course.
And where, Oracle, is that?
We've got a new contact. Unknown classification.
It isn't one of ours. Take it out.
This is Spartan 117. Can anyone hear me? Over.
Isolate that signal. Master Chief, you mind telling me what you're doing on that ship?
Sir, finishing this fight.
Silence fills the empty grave now that I have gone. But my mind is not at rest, for questions linger on. I will ask, and you will answer.
All right. Shoot.